Okay, so what we're going to look at now is how to set up a Google Doc and share it if you have never used that before. So, first of all, you need to access a Gmail account, and your DAC email is one. You could use another Gmail account that you have. So, you don't have to use your DAC email, but if you don't already have another Gmail account, you can use that one as well. Okay, so to get from your email to the screen I'm seeing now, over on the right top corner of your screen is this little grid of 9 tiles that says Google Apps if you hover over it. If you click on that from whatever application you are currently in, including your email inbox on Google, you'll see this pop up. And you want to choose the drive option. So the triangle that you are seeing that looks like that. And obviously it's going to bring me back to right where we were. All right, so I'm currently logged into the Writing Center to their email, and I'm using that to show you as an example. That way you aren't seeing my inbox screen from my instructor account because I have emails from students and things like that on there that everybody who is enrolled in my classes doesn't necessarily need to know, right? Okay, so let's look at how to set up a document, first of all, in case you don't know how to do that. You want to go over to the left-hand side of the screen now, where you see the plus sign and it says new. You want to click on that. And you can create a new folder. So if you wanted to have a folder like one of the ones you see in the center of the screen here, where you are maybe putting all of your work for our current class or another class, things like that to help keep your information here on the cloud organized, that's where you would do that. Okay. The next two give you the option to upload a file or a folder. So if you have created something on Word or another word processing program, and now you want to save it to the cloud, which is a good idea because that gives you a second place, something outside of your computer hard drive to keep your documents, you can use those options to do that. What we're looking at today, though, is just creating a new document. So we want to click on Google Docs, and this will bring up a word processing screen that should look pretty familiar if you have used Word or another program. So there are some differences in Google Docs between those word processing programs, but a lot of what you do intuitively, you'll be able to figure out because they are similar, even if the particulars are a little different. So first of all, I want to go up here to the top left corner of my screen where it says Untitled Document, and I want to create a title for my document because one of the differences is between Google and, say, Word, is that as I work in Google Docs, my information is automatically saved to the cloud. So when I decide to close this document and stop working on it, I don't have to go through the step of saving it or saving it as a particular item, like where you do that in Word and you choose the file name, that sort of thing, right? So this will automatically save, and I want to know what it is I have created, right, in theory. So I'm just going to title it Sample Document for Students Using Google for the First Time. Okay. And that will be helpful for me. It will also be helpful for Mrs. Chappell, who's another instructor that I'm about to send this to. She will get it in her email and just be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's not something I really have to do anything with right now today on the first day of classes. Okay, so Then, you would go through the process of putting whatever content in your document. So I will just have my one little sentence there, so that I do have some content in my document. And let's say I'm done with my assignment. So I'm done with unit one or whatever particular thing I am working on. And now I am ready to share it. So if I go over here to the blue share in the top right corner of my screen, I can see currently the document is locked, meaning I am the only one as the author and creator of the document who can view it. So I've asked you all to share your items with me through my DAC general email. Okay. I'm going to share this with Mrs. Chappell, though, because after doing a couple of practice runs with this, I found out like I can't just type in my DAC email to do the thing you would do and share it from the Writing Center or from my personal account because those are all linked in that mess as Google up. So I actually have to share it with someone. So I'm going to share it with Mrs. Chappell. And her email just pops up automatically because she works in the Writing Center. Okay. So you could share it with more than one person if you wanted to. So I'm not sure if you have other projects for other classes where you might need to do that, but you would just add an email address here in this top portion where we see Mrs. Chappell's email pop up, just like you would if you were sending an email to multiple people, right? So that's where you would type all of the addresses. You want to keep this box here that says notify people. You want to keep that checked because that means they will get notification that you have shared something with them. Otherwise, it goes into their cloud and they can view it, but they may not know to look for it there, right? They may not know that you sent it, right? So whenever they get around to checking, it'll show up. But this way, they get an email pushed to their email address saying, hey, so and so just sent this to you. So, especially if you are wanting some feedback, like, for example, if you're not sure you shared it correctly, you might type in the message box something simple like this. Can you see this? Right? And yes, I just have to correct my own stuff there. Um, and then if you were sharing your work with me as an instructor, I would see the message as well as the notification. So I would know there was something that you needed feedback on before I just, grade the assignment that you turned in. So you can include a message of some sort if you want when you send your work to me, but you don't have to do that. You can see down here which document it is that's being shared. So if you have several different documents that you are working on, you've chosen the correct one by looking there. Okay. So now you want to come over to this little tab on the right side of the pop-up box, and you can see we have editor there automatically chosen. There are two other options, viewer and commenter. And I have asked you to give me editing privileges because that allows me to have the largest range of commenting capability so I can give you the most amount of feedback possible on your assignments. If you choose viewer, this means that I can look at the document, but I can't give you any feedback or suggestions or anything like that on it. And commenter is a little more limited. So Make sure the editor is what you are seeing there on the screen here in this little box before you choose to send it with me, or to me, sorry. And then all you have to do is check send. And you can see it shows someone has been added. And I believe, yep, we can see I have the possibility to do that, right? The capability, sorry, not the possibility. And when Mrs. Chappell looks at the document, she will see this on her end as well. So that's all you have to do in order to set your document up and share it with me so that I can look at your homework and comment on it. If you have any questions about this or are having problems, please let me know. And otherwise, I will let you get back to working. Thanks a lot. Bye.